Motivation is the driving force behind human behavior. It's what gets us out of bed in the morning and out the door to achieve our goals. Motivation can come from many sources, including emotions, goals, and behaviors. Understanding how motivation works is essential for any individual or organization looking to be successful. Motivation is a curious thing. It can drive us to achieve great things, but it can also be uncontrollable and difficult to manage. Scientists are still trying to understand all of the nuances of motivation, but they have made some progress in understanding how it works. Motivation is one of the most important aspects of life. Without it, people would likely struggle to achieve their goals and aspirations. However, motivation is not always easy to come by. There are a number of factors that can influence a person's motivation, including emotions, environment, and personal beliefs. Researchers have spent years trying to understand the science behind motivation, and they have made some interesting discoveries. Here are 5 key insights into the science of motivation. 1. People are motivated by various factors, including rewards, punishments, and goals. Motivation is a complex and multi-layered phenomenon that can be explained by a variety of factors, including rewards, punishments, and goals. Rewards are often the most effective way to motivate someone, as they provide something tangible that the individual wants or needs. Punishments, on the other hand, can be more effective when used sparingly and only as a last resort. Goals are also an important motivator. When individuals know what they need to do in order to achieve a goal, they are more likely to take action. 2. Rewards and punishments can be effective motivators if they are timely, predictable, and consistent. People respond better to positive reinforcement than to punishment, but both can be effective in some situations. The timing of a reward is important. Rewards should be given as soon as the behavior is completed, rather than after the task has been completed but before the person knows it. Punishments should be fair and consistent so that people know what their expected behavior is. Finally, rewards and punishments must be relevant to the individual. They must motivate people to do what is good for them rather than just pleasing someone else. 3. Goals can be motivating if they are challenging but achievable, and if the person feels a sense of ownership over them. When people set goals, they often hope for things such as wealth, happiness, and love. But what if those things are too out of reach for you? What if your goals feel impossible to achieve? While it can be tough to set realistic goals, setting ones that are challenging but achievable can be very motivating. If you feel a sense of accomplishment when you reach them, then they're likely worth striving for. 4. The way a person is motivated often depends on their personality type. According to the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, there are 5 main personality types: the sensing type, intuitive type, thinking type, feeling type, and perceiving type. Each personality has its own strengths and weaknesses. Some people are motivated by their intuition while others are more driven by their thinking skills. Some people feel most comfortable expressing themselves through feelings, while others prefer to use logic and reasoning. However, no matter what personality type someone is, the way they are motivated often depends on their unique personality traits. 5. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to motivating people, as different approaches work better for different individuals. Motivation is a complex topic that can be difficult to understand. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to motivating people, as different approaches work better for different people. Some of the most common methods include positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, and situational motivation. Positive reinforcement is when rewards are given after a task or action has been completed. Negative reinforcement is when unpleasant stimuli are removed after a task or action has been completed. Situational motivation takes into account the environment in which an individual works and interacts with. For example, an employee may be more motivated if they know their performance will have an impact on their career path. Staying motivated. Staying motivated can be a challenge. After all, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. However, there are a few things you can do to stay on track and motivated throughout your day. One is to establish specific goals for yourself and make sure you have a timeline for achieving them. Also, find ways to celebrate small wins along the way. Finally, be patient with yourself. Times will get tougher, but with a little perseverance, you'll be able to keep up the good work. What causes lack of motivation? There are many factors that can contribute to a person's lack of motivation. Some people may have difficulty summoning the energy or enthusiasm they need to get started on tasks, while others may find it difficult to focus their attention on particular tasks. There are also psychological reasons for lack of motivation, such as feeling overwhelmed or stressed out. In any case, there is usually a combination of factors at play, and it can be difficult to figure out what needs to change in order for someone to regain their drive. Things that steal your motivation. Motivation is something that can be hard to come by, especially when you feel like you're constantly struggling. But there are things that can steal your motivation, and sometimes it's hard to fight them off. Sometimes the simplest things can sap your energy, like a work project that's daunting or a personal challenge that feels too hard. Here are 6 things that steal your motivation. 1. Negative thoughts. When you keep dwelling on the negatives, it can take away your energy and drive. Fight off negative thoughts with positive ones to keep yourself motivated. 2. Social comparisons. Whenever you start feeling down about yourself because of how others are doing, it's time to put down the phone and give yourself some space. Comparison will only make you feel worse about yourself, so try and focus on your own accomplishments instead. 3. Not doing enough. Your motivation will be sucked away if you don't get enough sleep or if you eat too much junk food. If you feel like you're not getting enough of the things that make you happy, then it's time to make some changes. 4. Expecting perfection. It's important to remember that no one is perfect, so don't expect yourself to be either. If you're feeling like you need to make a change, but you're expecting perfection from yourself, then it will just end up being a waste of time and energy. 5. Thinking too far ahead. Sometimes, it's good to get some distance between yourself and your problems so that you have time to think about them. If you think about the future too much, you'll run into problems that you've never even imagined. You'll find yourself making decisions when you have no idea what your future self will do. 6. Distractions. Distractions steal your motivation. They can be anything from a phone notification to something on TV. Even if you get yourself back on track, the task at hand may feel more difficult because you didn't have the full focus you needed to complete it. But how do you combat these distractions? There are a few things you can do, like setting boundaries and creating specific times for work or studying. In conclusion, there are many ways to get motivated. It is important to find what works best for you and to stick with it. There is no one-size-fits-all solution, so experiment until you find what makes you feel energized and excited to achieve your goals. Remember to be patient, as change does not happen overnight. With time and effort, you can reach your full potential and accomplish anything you set your mind to.